No, it won't be. It'll be really annoying. I'm really fucking devastated. I've written the two best fucking intros I've ever done in my life.
I didn't do it,
mate.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Mate. I fake laughed at the first one. I think I'll be able to fake laugh again.
I'd love it. Right then. Well, with that technical bollocks out of the way, let's do a podcast. Slightly more drab than last time. And we're live. Welcome to episode... Yes, I did it again a second time round. And I'm going to do it a third time. Fuck you. And we're live. Welcome to episode 2 of FRUK Unwrapped's secret menu show, where we talk about things that don't get shoved in your mouth. Unless, of course, we decide to cover BDSM. Tonight with the new season. Exactly. You know, for the listeners out there, we didn't record first time round, so there'll be some forced laughter coming up. Tonight, with the new season upon us, we decided, or at least our guest decided, we should cover the FRUK Fantasy Football League. But before we do, my best mate's uncle's barber said he had a customer whose neighbour's dog walker's taxi driver said that he'd picked up someone from the airport who had sat next to someone on the airplane whose gardener's sister's husband's brother's sister's brother's sister's sister's brother's sister's dad told them that our first host is definitely signing for Man City. It's Stuart Bullock.
I can't believe, Nathan, that you've that's got out. I asked my agent to keep that on the wraps. It's true. I am being signed by City as the replacement for David Silva.
Oh!
Because
you're basically the same guy.
Basically the same, because we're both small Spanish mercurial talents who are incredibly good with balls.
Is he the second choice then? Because he's silver.
Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, your previous joke when on the bit that didn't record about Vincent Kompany was better.
Yeah.
What about the fact that you never hear anyone talk about Vincent Kompany's twins? Because three's company.
Good stuff. How are you? How are you? No, not your time. How are you, Stuart?
Good. I've got like an overwhelming sense of deja vu, but apart from that.
Right, before we have any more deja vu, is anyone recording?
Yes.
Good stuff. Our next host once asked Sky Sports... Sorry, let's start that again. Our next host once applied to Sky Sports to be one of the reporters on transfer deadline day. He said he has experience of standing in a car park on a cold Wednesday night while someone waves a purple dildo in his face. It's Michael Jamieson.
Oh, I can't believe you let that one get out.
What, the rumour?
No, the dildo. Maybe we should script it in future. It's got a bit more structure.
How are you doing, Michael? You well?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad that we've got to exactly the same point that we got to last time round, and hopefully we'll get even further.
Fingers crossed.
And finally, our guest tonight is a sports journalist who works for BBC Sport Wales and actually campaigned to be on this show tonight. I was trying to think of something really witty and scathing to say about him. You know, something that really shows him in a negative light, which we can all identify with and laugh at. And then it hit me. He's a Cardiff fan. Well, please welcome to the show, Dylan Mohammad-Smart. How's it going, Dylan?
Thank you very much for having me on. It's an honour to come on here.
Thank you very much for coming on. You, for the listeners that aren't aware, you literally screamed at us for us to do this show and to include you on it.
Well, I enjoyed doing the fantasy football with you last year, and listening to the podcast. It's a bit loose, so thought why not throw the idea out there? And you took the bait, and now here we are.
You did, yeah. I thank you for calling our podcast a little bit loose, because I was slightly worried we came over a little bit too professionally at times. So a few questions for you, Dylan. You're obviously a FRUK fan. You've been hanging around for a fair few years now. I know you mainly from Twitter, but how did you get into the channel? Why didn't you have something better to do with your life?
I've done a bit of research, and I found the first ever video I actually watched.
Fuck off.
Yes, I did, because I remember it It was in April 27th, 2014.
Jesus.
It was my first ever video. It was a Kabuto Noodles chicken review that Michael did. And I just remember it because I just started my job at the BBC then. And I was 15 at the time, joining the BBC.
Wow.
So I was like, I need some snacks to take to work. So what shall I have? Seen these Kabuto noodles, thought, let's YouTube it. And the video came. So I'm guessing it was around that time.
Blimey, so you are.
It's been a long time I've been watching your videos. So, and the life of Michael Jameson, a lot of that as well. We watch a lot of that.
We don't promote the other channels. This is a Food Review UK podcast.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, we're allowed to do that. That's fine.
But no, yeah, I think I watch about five videos a week. Kind of take my pick of what I would, because I love food.
Yeah.
So, and the beer as well. So yeah, big fan.
Fair play to you. I mean, how does one go about finding out the first? Did you literally scroll through your history on YouTube to find the first one, or did you just?
I remember subscribing after that video.
Right.
And I think it was quite early when the channel started. So I remember that was the first review, and then I watched the review and went out and bought them. So that's how I remember.
And were they good?
Yeah, they're not too bad. I found it better in Noodle brand, but Soba noodles, a lot better.
Oh, my boy Soba. Yeah, they're the best, I reckon.
Just had some before this podcast started.
Oh.
Which one?
Flavor.
Oh, the new one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
There'll be a review on the channel soon, actually.
Good. Oh, there's a little bit of sizzle for the fans out there.
A peeking behind the curtain.
Oh. Well done. So I mentioned in your introduction there about your journalism work. Explain to the listeners what it is you do, and more importantly, how do we all get this job?
Well, I mean, I fell into this job. I was 15 coming out of school, and I got a year's apprenticeship, kind of like across the BBC Sport department. And I've just kind of worked my way up ever since. I've been here, like I said, 5.5 years now. And I'm now kind of a radio producer. That's my main job. So working with football journalists and, producing radio. You get a lot of people who come out of uni, got their masters in journalism and stuff. But I think what helped me is I was quite raw, quite rough around the edges. So they kind of nurtured me, from such a young age. And yeah, it is my dream job, to be honest.
Oh,
fair play. Nice. So what does producing a radio show entail? What is your sort of day-to-day job like?
I mean, I'm guessing you boys don't listen to BBC Radio Wales, so if you kind of listen to 5 Live Sport, like on a Saturday afternoon, a lot of round the grounds between the Welsh clubs, just bouncing between goals, results, and then we'll have like a main game. So this Saturday now is Swansea against Hull, so that's kind of like our rolling service game, and then updates from all the other Welsh grounds. So it's really busy on a Saturday, and we've got a Friday night show as well, which is what's on this Friday? I'm producing it, so I should know. T20 cricket. So we do all the sports, to be honest, but football and boxing are my kind of main ones.
Yeah. Am I making this up? You did a charity boxing
recently. I did in July last year.
Yeah.
A white collar fight.
How did you get on?
Oh, you can watch it on YouTube. So get my views up.
Oh wow!
Whoa! He's don't pimp your stuff, my friend. Don't pimp your stuff.
No, I won well. I won the fight. Got a knockdown in the second round, so it was brilliant, amazing experience. I've considered doing it again, but it's kind of like I had all my mates and family there, and I just don't think it's something you can top a second time. So, and I'm retired undefeated. So,
wow, undefeated.
Go out on top. Was that someone you knew, or was that like just like one of these places where they just sort of pair you up?
Yeah, it was just a charity thing. I was on my own going there and just wanted a new challenge. I mean, and fitness wise, it's the best thing I've ever done. Boxing's the hardest sport I've ever done, and I know you do your football, but boxing, the amount of weight I lost in that time was ridiculous. And I always put it all back on, so I might do another one.
All those shitty noodles you're eating.
Can I ask a quick question about Welsh football, actually?
God.
No?
So, as I understand it, there's obviously a Welsh Premier League, right?
Yes.
So is there like a handful of clubs that are outside the Premier League, but still in like professional football? So obviously Swansea, obviously Cardiff. Are there others?
Wrexham,
Yes, Newport County and Wrexham.
Mike Flynn. Woo.
Yeah, there are other ones, and then you've got the Welsh Premier League, and they just can't get licenses to play in England, so their ground's not big enough. They haven't got the facilities, but you can still qualify for the Champions League through the Welsh Premier League.
Oh,
so,
wow!
But just the 4 clubs.
Who is the biggest Welsh team outside of those 4? Is it New Saints?
The New Saints, yeah. So
they've won it like 7 times out of.
Yeah, they literally have 7 times out of 8, I think. But yeah, I mean, the money in the Champions League is so big that they can afford to become a professional team. I think if you get through to the second qualifying round of the Champions League, then you earn £500,000, which for a club like that is massive money.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Almost suits them not to come into the English league, really, because they'll decent chance they'll just get relegated down to some shitty level and just not really do like Wrexham are at the moment.
If you got to the FA Cup, I think it's £500,000. You'd have to get to the quarterfinals.
Jesus.
So
wow,
money's crazy.
Yeah. Definitely season. Sticking on football and the whole show's on football, but sticking in particular with the Welsh side of things. You are a Cardiff fan. How do you feel about the season ahead?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I think the club in the last 3 years has done a complete 360. It was going into the Premier League last time. It was the positivity. Really looking forward to it, and it was just a disaster from there. We had the owner change our to red. And we brought Solskjaer in, who done a terrible job. And then a few managers later, Russell Slade, Paul Trollope, just the atmosphere down there was terrible. We're getting 12,000 fans for a game, and Neil Warnock come in, and he's literally changed the club around. So I know we went down last season, but our squad going into this championship season, I think, is the best in the championship, and I'm almost certain we're going to go straight back up. And the best thing is just the positivity around the club. I mean, there's 25,000. They've already sold 18,000 season tickets for this championship season. So yeah, it's in a really good place at the moment. A lot of it down to Neil Warnock.
Pretty. It's notoriously a very tough league to get out of. I know you're saying about that coming up, but obviously, what's down there at the moment? You've obviously got West Brom, Leeds, Middlesbrough, Derby.
Twat.
What?
Absolute twat.
What?
I know exactly what you're doing. Why don't you fuck off?
I've kind of done my top 6 predictions.
Go on.
Leeds first.
Oh.
Yeah, Cardiff City second.
No.
Fulham third.
No.
Yeah, it's like
Absolute joke.
Fulham have somehow held on to Alexander Mitrovic so far, so he's going to be a battering ram. I think Brentford will be up there, Stoke and West Brom.
Stoke, interesting choice.
Yeah, new manager, so yeah, I think they'll do well.
Yeah, fair play. Right, we're not going to talk much about food tonight. But as you are aware, for new guests, we have random questions. Can you please give me 3 numbers between 1 and 10, please?
2, 7, and 10.
2, 7, and 10. Okie dokie. 2. Do you have any weird food quirks?
I have to do something, don't I?
Just make one up.
Cool original Dorito with a bit of Galaxy on top. Galaxy original.
Dude,
Sorry.
No.
I just have to think of one. I have to. What's my weird food? Oh, that's right. I put fucking chocolate on Cool Original crisps.
Don't knock it until you've tried it. It's beautiful.
No, it's just...
Probably Cool Original though.
Don't knock it until Michael tries it, yeah?
Yeah, I won't be trying that one, I'm afraid.
Oh, but do you actually like Cool Original out of interest?
No, I don't, no.
They're an underrated flavour.
I like them. Yeah, good, Cool Original.
Not bad. Not bad. Number 7. Do you have a sweet or savoury tooth?
Savoury.
Both.
Every day.
Both, by the sound of it.
Savoury every day of the week.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that why you add chocolate?
No, I think you find he adds crisps to his chocolate.
Yeah. Sorry, obviously the wrong way around.
Yeah. Fair play. And finally, have you got any allergies to food?
Oh, I'm allergic to Vimto. Yeah.
How do you...
That's obviously a joke. You just don't like it, right?
No, I'm actually allergic to it. Doctor said and everything. Yeah.
What? No.
I drank.
So what? Okay, right.
Come out in a rash. Drank it again. Come out in a rash. Went to the doctors, and it must be the Vimto. No, genuine.
Oh, brilliant.
There must be something. It can't be Vimto. There must be something in Vimto. I would love if it was just that particular combination of chemicals and foodstuffs.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
And I really like Vimto. It's such a nice drink, but
It is.
yeah, can't do it.
Brilliant.
Seems to be the curse of anyone who's allergic to something. It seems to be something they like.
I haven't tried it since I was 7. So when I was 7, I enjoyed it.
You sure it was just you didn't have an unhealthy obsession with Vimto and your parents just wanted to get you off it and lied to you about what the doctor said?
Yeah.
I was in the doctor's room.
Just on that allergy point, it just reminded me. I know 2 people. One gets drunk off of polos. Apparently, if you give her a polo, she gets like weirdly like drunk.
She's also a massive liar.
And our very own Reese Peru apparently. Well, he tried recently and it didn't happen. But when he was younger, he used to eat Cocoa Pops. I don't know why I was going to say Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa Pops. He used to pass out. So
No, none of these people are telling the truth, do you, Nate?
No. Anyway,
yeah. When I eat a Kit Kat, I fucking blow up. I get bigger.
That's a lie because I've seen you eat Kit Kat. So
well, you didn't measure me. You'll have to bring your tape measure next time.
You, my friend, are wrong. Right, let's move on.
Gonna need a smaller ruler, Stuart.
IVIA Quivia.
Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yes, Quivia, times and place of Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yes, Quivia, times and place of Quivia. It's like a cross between some trivia and a quiz, and as such it stands for proper two of those two aforementioned words. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yes, Quivia, times and place of Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yes, Quivia, times and place of Quivia.
No. Not ready. Not ready for it. I feel like I've lost my Quivia mojo.
Right.
I feel like as you know, Nathan, I've had something of a quiz meltdown today. For the listeners and Dylan, we've been doing like Nathan did the work quiz a few weeks ago, and some of the FRUK presenters, so me, Gossie, MJ, Chris the Clam, Rich and Tony have been doing the quiz over WhatsApp, and we fell out about it. First of all, like massively fell out about it, and then I've since the falling out, I've lost all quiz confidence. I was winning by a comfortable margin, and since then I think I've failed to get a question right. Today, yep. I knew the answer to the question and sent the wrong answer in. Anyway, quiz meltdown.
You dropped something like Brian Dowell or Kate Lawler.
Exactly, Brian Dowling. Yeah. And then instantly,
which might be the correct answer.
Might be the correct answer. Exactly.
We haven't done the answers yet, so it could. Yeah. You never know. You might be correct. I will tell you though. You currently aren't the top of the leaderboard. So.
Did you say not?
He's not. No, he's not top of the quiz leaderboard.
Stupid Patrick, and his stupid little face. Hate him.
His age, his lack of age.
I mean, we've got someone who's roughly the same age as him, so.
Yeah, lack of age also.
In that case, I'm going to take all my frustrations out on Dylan tonight as like a surrogate Sam.
Remember, you can't spell smart without SAM, so.
correctly.
SMO.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. You can't.
Tonight's Quivia is entitled "I would FRUK 500 miles and I would FRUK 500 more."
Like it.
What I've done is it's better than last shows. I can half guarantee that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 English. Why are we showing off armpits, lads?
I don't know. Michael started it. Michael started it.
I've got 6 English footballers, and I need you to tell me who they are. The clues I'm going to be giving you is the clubs that they've played for.
Amazing. Amazing.
Very similar to the cocktail one I did many moons ago. I'm going to give you one club at a time.
Brilliant. Love it.
And
Love it.
the number of points you get will be dependent on how early you guess. However, I will not tell you up front how many clubs they've played for.
Right.
So you won't know if it's the penultimate one or not. Yeah. Okay?
This is great.
I will give you one clue, though, going in. Every single one of these players has played abroad at some point in their career.
And are they all English players?
They are all English players who have all played abroad at some point.
So not
English.
English.
Right, okay.
So not Dwight York.
Not Dwight York, no.
Because he's the only footballer I know.
He's the only footballer you know. And also David Silva and also Vincent Company. And yourself.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. And Callum Johnson.
And Callum Johnson, of course. I mean, we've literally spoken to one days ago, and he's at the bottom of the list that you've produced.
Yeah. Actually, I've got one ex-pupil who's currently playing in the leagues as well. Out of all the thousands of kids I've taught over the years who are going to be professional footballers, I've got one, a lad called Otis Khan, who's playing at Mansfield Town in League 2. Nice lad. Nice lad.
How old is he? Any good?
Maybe 23, early 20s, young. He did like most of the players, most of the kids who I've taught have been on the books at like United or City or whatever. I think he was at United, dropped down, went to Sheff U, went to Barnsley, and then he's been at Mansfield and has been establishing himself there. Yeah.
That's cool.
So I know him as well, yeah.
Yeah. You know all the footballers. All of the footballs.
Yeah, correct.
I will say, sorry, just another part of the rules are if you guess and you get it wrong, you can't keep guessing. Okay, so be careful with your guesses, and it is just first come first serve.
I'm liking that Dylan's got a pen and paper here.
Oh, he's taking this seriously.
Yeah.
I'm expecting Dylan to take this, if I'm honest.
Oh, right,
But
cheers,
he's
Bill.
A young'un.
Yeah, build me back
He's a
up.
young'un, so some of these he might not get.
Right,
ready?
Yeah.
I nearly read out the footballer's name.
Right, are we taking it in turns, or are we jumping in, or what?
Let's take it in turns, I think. But we'll do it on each round. So I'll go Stuart, Michael, Dylan, vice versa, and keep going around like that. So first club, West Ham, Stuart. You can pass if you don't know. You pass.
Just for clarification, are we talking about? Is this the first club that they played for?
So yeah.
So is this in order?
Every club they've played for permanently. I've not included any loan clubs. This is every club they've played for permanently, and I will start from the first club they've made their professional debut for.
Right, I'm going to have a go.
Okay.
Super Frankie Lampard.
You're incorrect.
Never played abroad, mate.
Yeah, he played for New York City, you prick.
Michael, would you like to have a guess on that one?
I'd written down Lampard and scribbled it out because I thought he hadn't played abroad. I'll just add New York. No, I could. What? I'm allowed to get the next clue, right?
Yeah, let's do it that way.
Great planning, Nate.
Remember, this is better than last time round.
You could borrow. You could borrow this format for your Friday night show, Dylan.
I'll tell you what.
I can give you all the answers. Yeah, Michael. So the next one is Tottenham.
Oh, so annoyed now.
So I know only a handful of English players that have then played abroad. I do have a player on my list who has played at Tottenham, but I don't know if he played at West Ham. So if I guess, I'm just locked out of this round, right?
Yeah,
and then
but
I
you can
come
pass
back
and you
into
can carry on. But the next, if you don't give me an answer, I can move on to Dylan, and he's got a chance to do it. And then if he passes, then it comes back to you.
I'm out.
No, I mean
out.
Dylan's gonna get. I'm gonna go for Bale.
Nope.
Did not play for West Ham, Michael.
Yeah, and he's also
Not English. Yeah.
Yeah. Dylan.
Yeah.
The next club is. I'm going to give you the next club. So the next club is Portsmouth.
Yeah, obviously. So annoyed.
So you can guess now.
Oh, Dylan doesn't know. Oh God. I'm gonna text. I'm gonna WhatsApp Nate now just to prove that I know it.
Yeah, if we all get locked out, we get locked back in, right?
No points.
Wow.
So if Dylan wants, he can wait until the very last club and get 1 point.
I'll pass it back to Andrew.
No, he's out. It's all back. It's all on you.
Oh shit.
So,
I think this is an old player.
If you pass, you get another club.
Yeah.
If he played for another club, and he
Yeah,
did.
So if you pass, I can move on to the next club. It just means you get less points if you guess it on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pass on that one. So next club is Tottenham.
Correct.
So
So annoyed.
West Ham, Tottenham, Portsmouth, Tottenham.
Oh, I know it. I'm going to write down to prove I know too.
This is before my time.
Oh, massively.
Not really. Not really.
Yeah, no, really.
Born in 98.
Yeah, not before your time.
Yeah, before your time, mate. I've got it written down. I know it is.
So I can pass again, yeah?
Yeah,
you can.
Keep going to the end.
You've got plenty of passes left on this fella and all.
Yeah, go on, I'll pass again.
Okay. Next club, Toronto.
Yeah, I know it.
And for the listeners at home, that's his foreign club that he's played for.
Unless you're in Canada, in which case it's the only domestic team he played for.
Shout out to Adam Ducker there, who is an Englishman living in Canada and follows the Canadian Football League, which apparently recently had the first ever Canadian team beat an American MLS team ever.
Ooh, wow.
Great trivia.
Great trivia.
Okay, Quivia.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm disappointed in myself, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'm furious with you.
We can pass. Next club is Sunderland.
Sunderland.
Yep.
Michael, please tell me you're being serious.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I think
amazing.
it is.
Amazing.
Mate, is that right? I'm holding up the answer now.
No, it's not right now.
It's not a Sol Campbell.
What's this piece of paper that you're holding up that's got like a paid stamp on it and a receipt? Like an invoice?
It's an invoice for this here comic book.
Not the purple dildo.
No, never keep receipts for those things.
Can I ask how many more clubs he's got?
Nope.
Okay, I'll have the next club. I don't think I'm going to get this.
Bournemouth. Come on, mate.
Okay, I think I've got it. I'm going to go Jermaine Defoe.
Yeah. Well done.
I can't remember if he played for Toronto.
He did for about a year or 18 months.
Before he went to Sunderland.
What did I get? About 1 point?
2 points.
That is a big shout out to Adam Ducker as well, because he's obviously a Pompey fan.
Why does Dylan get 2 points for that?
Because he then moved to Glasgow Rangers.
Did he? I missed that.
Yeah. So did I on my. So did I on my score sheet. Completely forgot about it. So yeah, next one. On this one, we are going to. So if we keep the cycle going round, we'll start with Michael.
Good.
I nearly did it again. I nearly said the fucking footballer's name. Right. First club, Everton. You can pass, Michael.
Rooney.
MJ with 4 points there.
Because then he moved to... I don't know if he went anywhere in between, but obviously he plays for Pittsburgh now, right?
Yep. Pittsburgh United. in DC. Right.
Oh, yeah, but Pittsburgh's near DC.
Yeah, correct. Okie dokie. Right then. Starting with Dylan. Leeds.
Oh.
I'll pass.
Okay. This is for Stuart. Newcastle.
Leeds to Newcastle. Try to think about abroad now. From Leeds to Newcastle. I could go for Leeds to Newcastle.
You can, of course, pass.
I don't want to pass. I want to have a go.
Did he go on to Did he go on to play for another third world country team?
Leeds to Newcastle.
Shout out to any listeners in Leeds or Newcastle there.
Let's have a stab in the dark, although I cannot think for a second where he played abroad. But it seems to me that I need to take a guess and win some points. So I'm going to go for David Batty.
No, it's not David Batty. But lovely guess. Stuart there, out again. So on to you, Michael. So we've got Leeds, Newcastle, third club, Real Madrid.
Oh, for crying out loud. I know it is. Can I go back?
Yeah, no, that's not how this works.
I mean, we literally talked about him last week.
I think Dylan knows who it is, although I don't think Dylan knows his name. Oh, okay.
I don't really know any Real Madrid English players. Did someone like this? No, I'll pass.
Okay. On to Dylan. And the next club is Middlesbrough. So that's Leeds, Newcastle, Real Madrid, Middlesbrough.
I'm going to have a go.
Okay.
Go with Jonathan Woodgate.
Correct.
That is 4 points for Dylan. And that was there. Okie dokie. Right, so back to Stuart, first time. Crew Alexandra.
Oh, fuck. Wait, why is it Stuart first?
Because everyone else has been first, you idiot. I went first, then you went first, then Dylan went first. Pay attention. Pass.
Okay. Michael. This player went from Crew to Aston Villa.
Of course he did.
Does that mean you know who it is?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, it seems like every time you pass or get one wrong, the next club you know who it is.
It has been the previous couple of times, though.
Crew to Aston Villa. Basically, if I guess who it is, if I try and guess who it is, I'll obviously...
You're out.
Yeah, I'm out. But then, like, these two are probably going to get it in the next two anyway, so I might as well just guess.
Might as well.
Can I ask if Crouchy has ever played abroad?
He has not, no.
Hang on. What if I'd said, right. Can I ask if David Batty has ever played abroad? And then I'd have probably got Jonathan Woodgate, but I thought, there's no way that we can ask those kind of questions.
You're right, so that means Michael's out of the game. So we're moving on.
Hang on.
No, your guess was Crouch.
No, it wasn't. It was a by-the-by question. Steven Gerrard.
Yeah. Famous for playing for loads of clubs.
Right. Yeah, that would be the shortest one ever. Stuart. No, Dylan. Sorry. Crew, Villa. He then moved to Italy with Bari.
Yeah, got it.
Who, sorry?
Bari.
Got it as well. Yeah.
Not Barry, not the Welsh team.
Got it. Got it.
Got
it.
Got it in the back.
I will be fairly impressed if Dylan gets this one.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper as well.
So He was playing while you were alive, so that helps.
Stop it. With your clues.
Quivia, Italy. Well, I don't know. I've never heard of that club, so I have no idea.
Fuck me, they've been out of the Serie A for that long. Okay, well, you passing, yeah?
Yeah, you can have it.
Stuart, Juventus.
Gale's number one son, David Platt.
That's correct, for 4 points.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of David Platt.
Oh my lord, mate! How many
points did he get for that?
4.
You want to YouTube some of Platty's goals. There was a couple of his England goals as well. Yeah, England, Belgium, absolute belters. Top player, Platty.
Yeah, he went on to move to Sampdoria, Arsenal, and then Nottingham Forest. Next one for MJ to start. Crystal Palace.
Beckham.
Nope. That's Michael Jameson out of this entire game by the sound of it. Dylan, second club, from Palace to Southend.
Oh dear.
That's not going to help you very much, I would imagine.
No, let's go. Not past that.
Okay. Stuart, from Palace to Southend to Nottingham Forest.
Oh. Let's pass it.
Okay. Dylan, from Forest to Liverpool.
Manchester City.
Yeah, got it.
Sorry, you broke up then. Can you say that again?
Yeah, to Liverpool. So that's Palace, Southend, Forest, and then Liverpool.
Gerrard.
No pressure, but I know it, mate.
Stuart said he was famous for playing at a number of clubs.
I don't know if you do know it.
I do know it, and Nathan knows I know it because there's a club coming up on this list.
Oh wow, Bradford City's coming up.
I mean, that's...
I'll just have a stab at somebody who played abroad, English, Liverpool, Steve McManaman.
Oh, great shout. No, it's not Stephen McManaman.
No,
Stuart, for 4 points, Aston Villa.
Stanley Collymore.
Stanley, ladies' man, Collymore.
These are a bit before my time.
Well...
I know him as a football pundit, not a football player.
Well, he played football before he was a pundit.
These are all a bit before my knowledge as well.
Yeah, I'm afraid there's no Fulham fans on here, I'm afraid, my man. Right, last one. Big one. This starts with, Dylan. We're starting with Newcastle.
Yeah, got it.
I think his Quivia mojo's back.
Go on, smash him, Dylan. Biggest player for Newcastle who's English, just say that, because we got to stop him getting some points in.
Les Ferdinand, isn't it?
It's not going to be the biggest English player for... He didn't play abroad, did he? Or did he? No, we'll pass it.
Oh, no, awful.
Second club, Tottenham Hotspur.
It is. Do you want to rattle off the rest? I think you know who it is.
Tottenham Hotspur to Lazio.
Yep.
Lazio to... Oh, which way round did it go? Rangers?
Yep.
Rangers to Middlesbrough.
Yep.
Middlesbrough to... Oh, it's a bit shady, doesn't it? Doesn't it go to like Walsall or somewhere?
No. Everton.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Everton.
Sounds like an incorrect answer.
I think you're thinking of Paul Merson, which is weird.
Yeah. So we're still both at Borough together. They live together in Borough. Where did he go after Everton?
Burnley.
Jesus, he went round a bit, didn't he?
And then his second spell overseas was Gansu Tianma.
And then he took some fried chicken to Real Moat.
and then Boston Yard.
Yeah.
Can you name that footballer?
Paul Gascoigne.
Paul Gascoigne for 8 points, a staggering 8 points. Well done, Stuart. The brain of Quivia returns.
I'm back.
Not just a winner there.
Experience. Well done, guys. Well done.
Hello, it's MJ. You're listening to FRUK Unwrapped. Please leave us a review on iTunes and check out our other exploits, which does include our Instagram page at FRUKgram and our Twitter page at Food Review UK. And hey, we've got lots of awesome videos on YouTube. Thanks a lot for your support.
Right, let's get into some actual talk about football itself. We've got the Fantasy Premier League coming up.
Correct.
So we've got a few things to look at on the teams coming our way and the players coming our way. I think it's only fair that the first thing that we talk about on the fantasy side of things, who's your must-haves? Who's your big expensive players who it's just idiotic if Michael Jameson doesn't have them in their team? We'll start with Dylan, since this is his topic.
Well, first one on my team sheet was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Correct.
Just top goal scorer top goal scorer last season. And he won't stop scoring this season. I think it's his third season now. So yeah, first one on the list. I think he'll stay in it throughout, to be honest.
Yeah.
And my other big expensive signing was Raheem Sterling.
Correct.
I think it was a massive toss-up between him and Salah. Salah's 0.5 million more expensive, but Sterling, the form he had last season, and goals from midfield, you get extra points in that midfield. Them two, top two for me.
Yeah.
Salah seems an obvious choice because of what he did 2 years ago. I feel like the thing with Salah is he had such an amazing first year, like the fantasy Premier League just wants to suck his dick a little bit too much and just sort of like just treats him as an invincible. Don't get me wrong, fabulous player and well worth all the points he's accumulated over the last 2 years. But last year he didn't repeat anywhere near the merits he did in his first year, and it's sort of like they still treat him like he's some sort of.
I think you'll find he actually had more points.
Yeah, but not in terms.
Than he did the year before.
But that's what I'm saying is like on the pitch he didn't do as much. He didn't score as many goals and things like that. So I feel like there's a lot more bonus points and a lot more awarded to him.
Yeah.
Out of just because they love him so much.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So whereas Sterling,
factual. The bonus points, factual system, mate. Fair
enough, mate. What about you, Stuart? Any other big names?
I've gone for. I don't care about sharing my team. I've gone for Aubameyang and Sterling. I think that I just think that Salah is never going to do what he did 2 seasons ago. I think Aubameyang. When did Aubameyang sign? Did he sign? Did he come January? Has he had like a season?
Yeah, so he's done
a season and a half. I just think he's now. I think he's going to be settled in. He's going to be full of confidence, and he's going to destroy the Premier League. I think we're going to see an Aguero in his prime, like season from Aubameyang this year, but like less injury prone than Aguero. Sterling, I think we forget how young Raheem Sterling is because we've all known about him for like 7 years. Raheem Sterling's like 24. He's not even really entering his prime yet.
Cool.
And he is going to. I think he's going to smash it this season. I've made an executive decision and I've put big money down on Harry Kane in August, which is
score in August, mate.
But they're opening. Not only have I put big money on him, I've captained him. They're playing Villa at home. Come on.
So have you? So you've got Aubameyang and Kane, or did you say?
Do you want to hear my starting lineup? This is my.
I've got. Checking. You had all 3 of those in your.
Oh mate, I've got Aubameyang, I've got Kane, I've got Bernardo Silva, I've got Sterling, I've got Virgil van Dijk in my team. My starting 11.
Must be shite.
Not really.
That's big money.
I've got Callum Wilson. I've got Callum Wilson's going to score some goals. You can always rely on Callum Wilson. I know a lot of people who rely on Wilson as being their primary goal scorer in a fantasy football team. I've got Naby Keita.
Are they children?
I've got the rest of my team's not. I mean, admittedly, I've spunk most of my money on like 5 or 6 players, but the rest of my team's not bad. I mean, I don't spend very much on goalies. I always go for bargain basement goalies, and then pick and whichever one's playing the worst team, I'll put them in net that week. Having said that, my 2 bargain basement goalies this season are Begovic and Leno. I reckon my team's pretty good. I mean, I've got a couple of players in there who are naff. I've got Adam Smith. I've got Daryl Janmat. I've got Taylor from Burnley. And I've got Oriol Romeu at Southampton. But other than that, I think my team's pretty solid. I reckon Bernardo Silva's going to have an absolutely brilliant year. He's looking like a great, great footballer. And another one who really is now going to be settled into the Premier League. And I don't even think he was very much money. 8 million. 8 million, and I reckon he's going to be a maybe 120, 130 pointer.
Bernardo Silva's performance against Liverpool last year, when City won 2-1, is one of the best Premier League performances I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He was the ground he covered in that game.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if he's a fantasy player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Like,
but then I think for 8 million's not too bad to splash on that, but
he got 154 points last season.
Michael, any big names that you think are worth highlighting or that you have in your team? Because you've shown me your team. I don't know if it's changed since you showed me, but it was pretty sick.
Yeah, I don't think it's changed. Not to say that it won't, but I don't think it has since I showed you it. My 2 sort of headline big people are Salah and Robertson. Appreciate they're both Liverpool players, but you need a guy. I feel like the mistakes I've made in the past, to be honest, and I hate to be critical of him as soon as he's left the room, because Stuart has actually left the room here. My biggest failure in the past, I feel, was sploonging all my money on the big guys and then not having, just having shit for the rest of my squad. The problem with that is it's not like the big guys are guaranteed to score. Yes, over the course of the whole season they should get very big scores, but they are in no way a dead cert. You could have a player, you could have a big player like that sent off, and they're a -1 for you, and then you've got a huge chunk of your team and a lot of stock that you've put into it, and completely ruined. So I focused on the whole rather than the few. So Salah is really my main big one. But Robertson became much more expensive this year, didn't he? Because he had such a good season.
Cracking player.
He's in my team, Robertson. He's down as a defender, but he's basically a midfielder. And him and Trent Alexander-Arnold are so high at the pitch. I've got both them boys in, and I think they give these for defenders.
It's like a couple of seasons ago with Alonso at Chelsea. You were guaranteed to get attacking midfielder points for a defender. Last season, Alonso was always my go-to, but then last season, the way Chelsea played, he wasn't doing anywhere near as much. But that's the trick, isn't it? It's getting you the midfield. It's getting the midfielders that are playing basically as strikers. Like Salah's always a midfielder. On fantasy football, and getting the defenders that are basically playing as wing backs or midfielders.
I don't think many people look at them defenders and think, are they going to keep a clean sheet? I've got 3 at the back: Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, and Lucas Digne, and that's just for free kicks, set pieces, because I think that's where the majority of points are going to come. Yeah,
very much so.
Well, I'm hoping my connection's better. Am I coming through all right? It's gone dogged out. I don't know what's happened. I can only assume that Laura's just suddenly decided to watch something on Netflix while also downloading just copious amounts of pornography.
You sound perfect now. So.
Thank you. So that's the big name players. What about the promoted teams? Do we think there's any budget in? Sorry, any worthwhile causes in the Villa, Sheffield United, or Norwich teams? Big shout out to Mr.
Chode. I'm delighted you asked me, Nate. Hernandez in the midfielding area. Hernandez. is, I think, going to be key to Norwich's success this year, if indeed they have any.
If indeed.
I've picked a player from each of the promoted teams to maybe have a look at. Aston Villa, Jack Grealish, quality. Yeah. As much as I hate the player, he is a quality midfielder.
Yeah, I've got him on my bench as well, actually. Sorry, Grealish as well.
I'm sure he's quite cheap. And everything will go through him for Villa.
I'd imagine, on that Grealish thing, I would imagine he'll get quite a lot of bonus points, because I can only imagine, because everything goes through him, even if he doesn't pick up assists, or even if he doesn't pick up goals necessarily, I just feel like he's so embedded in that team now that it'll just be, like I said about Salah, that he just gets points for being the best player in his team.
He'll also be a lot more well protected by the referees as well. I mean, the Championship, you can get away with so much, and he was cropped last season. But I think he'll have a lot more time on the ball, and I think he could have a really good season. I think this will be his last season for Villa, to be honest.
He's got a protection from the fucking fans, let alone the other players.
That was naughty.
It was naughty. And who else did you have?
Sheffield United, I've gone with a bit of a wild card option. Ravel Morrison.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
Former Man United and Cardiff City player. One of the most random signings of the summer, to be honest. But he has got
You don't want to win, no?
He's got bags and bags of potential. But
how old's Ravel now? Has he still got bags of potential? When can we stop?
He's the same age as Pogba. I remember seeing him and Pogba come on in a game. I think it was against Stoke or something like that, when they were both complete unknowns. They both came on, and I went, Pogba, load of old shit. That Ravel Morrison, that's where the talent is.
I think he did sign for a team in Mexico at one point. He's been round the block, hasn't he? But I remember Rio Ferdinand described him as the best youngster he's ever seen.
Yeah.
And I mean, for him to say that, it's quite a statement. So, I mean, it's just, does he get game time? Will he behave in training?
No.
I mean, that's the problem, isn't it?
I think the problem you'll have with him is, I mean, I haven't seen much of Sheffield United, but from what I gather from their team, I can only imagine they're just a well-drilled, organised team, and I just don't know whether he necessarily fits into that style of play, especially when, with no disrespect to Sheffield United, a lot of the signings they're making feel like they're already preparing for the Championship. They're not really. I know there's the rumour of the McBurney bid, but a lot of their signings are 3 million and 5 million. They're not really splurging to stay up. So you sort of worry that they're not going to be. They're going to be happy to get a draw here and there, and rather than sort of trying to push on. So whether
they'll be grinding out results, absolutely. And you look at some of the signings they brought. Phil Jagielka. I mean, that shows, they need that bit of experience. They've spent 10 million on Lis Mousset, who was at Bournemouth, but he scored 3 goals for a striker, so 10 million, I don't know where that's come from. But I think they might struggle. But they're a Championship club, but they're well drilled, they'll grind out results, but like Cardiff City last year, you're not going to get that in the Premier League.
Yeah, and that's the worry with Morrison, is just whether he fits into that style of play and whether he's disciplined enough. We'll see. I mean, it could be an absolutely stunning signing for them, but
in the last 5 years, Ravel Morrison, as a 26-year-old, has played less than 50 competitive matches. That is a hell of a start. That
he wasted his time at Lazio, didn't he? He went to Lazio and didn't play.
Yeah.
Most recently at Ostersunds and didn't do fuck all there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Watch him though.
Yeah. And
Norwich, probably the one who will be used the most. Timo Pukki, top goal scorer in the Championship last season.
Finnish boy.
Goals, 8 assists as well. But again, it's just, is he going to step up? I can't see it happening, but maybe a good bench option for the fantasy.
Yeah, he was. I really want to get him in. I think I've got him in an alt I'm running this year, under the guise of another character. Shame I couldn't fit him. No, don't laugh. Shame I couldn't fit him into the. Shame I couldn't fit him into this team.
Yeah, I did. He was originally in my team when I literally threw together my first draft, and he was in there. But I've sort of mixed it up a bit, and he's long gone. What about you, Stuart? Any other Champo
Shane
boys?
Long's not even in the
I just find I think that we've been bitten so many times with those players who are too good for the Championship and not good enough for the Premiership. You know, your Dwight Gales that score so many goals in the Championship, your Mitrovic's, you know. It's very rare that I think a player comes up with the team and sets the Prem on fire. You know, think about people like Knockout. Knockout was ace in the Championship, and he was average in the Premiership. You know, he was a half decent Premiership player. I'm prepared to be surprised, but I don't think anyone coming up is going to set the Prem alight and set the FPL alight.
I think the only two players that I've got that I'll add to Dylan's list there, because I've got those same players. Well, not the Ravel Morrison one, because who would? The only other ones I've got is John McGinn at Aston Villa. He loves a worldy goal, and that could just make him a little bit worth your notice. That said, Ruben Neves, this 12 months ago, had the same could have been said about him, and he didn't really set the world alight in the Premier League this year. No. Tidy footballer, great little footballer. Yeah, in Watford. That's right, Michael. So yeah, he could have that. And the other one, this is the one I think I'm most keen on, is Henderson, the goalkeeper that's just gone. Well, our lad, Dean. Is it Dean Henderson? His first name, I think. Goalkeeper that's gone on loan to Sheffield United. He was there in their promotion year, and by all accounts, he was the best, if not one of the best, goalkeepers in the Championship last year. Young English lad. The England goalkeeper position is not entirely nailed on, and it wouldn't surprise me if he had a real breakout season this year. He's full of confidence. He's basically signed a new 5-year deal at United and was toying with staying at the club because he thought that he was good enough to take the number one role if David De Gea left. So the boy has lots of confidence. So he's come into my team now. He's only 4.5 million, same as you, Stuart. We'll get onto tactics in a minute, but same as you, I don't spend a lot on my goalkeepers. No. So he's in my he's in there for standout ability. Yeah,
and also
you got to spend money to make money, mate.
You do.
Can you spare some change? We've got ears to feed. We come to you with open hands, but instead of on the streets, we're begging on the podcast. Do you want this episode to be our last? Will you please go to Patreon and donate some cash? If you enjoy the Food Review UK content on YouTube and here on the podcast, then please consider heading to patreon.com Food Review UK and making a small donation.
We've done big money signings. We've done new promoted players. What about foreign signings? The complete unknowns. Could be anything. We don't know anything about these fellas and what they can do in the Premier League or English football. Can they do it on a cold Tuesday night in... I can't say Stoke anymore because they're not in the Premier League. Who would be... Burnley. Can they do it on a cold Tuesday night in Burnley? Anybody catch your eye? We'll start with Michael.
Me? Yeah. So looking at my squad, got to find the foreign-sounding names. No, I don't think I've got any. To my knowledge, I've not got any. I've only gone for proven track record, PTR. Sort of something that I like to live by. Not much of a gambler. I've seen Keane is coming across to Everton. Yep. From Italy, so that's that might be worth a shout. He's probably going to make some waves there, but no, I haven't got any yet.
Fair play, Stuart.
I haven't got any in my team. I think that the one that obviously we don't know. Pepe at Arsenal could that's causing a big stir. That could be that could be a decent signing. I'm looking forward to seeing Pulisic. Because obviously he went to Chatham and they signed him in the window, didn't they? In the January window, but he went out on loan. A bit of a classy footballer, really. Pulisic should be.
Yeah, I mean a lot will be made of obviously him being the successor of Hazard.
Yeah.
which is probably slightly unfair on a whatever he is, a 21-year-old American footballer to fill such large boots. And no, Michael, it doesn't mean that Hazard had big feet. But yeah, no, he'll be intriguing to see. Been hearing a lot about him at Dortmund for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
The number 10 number is always a tough one to fill, and Hazard made it so iconic. Just gonna have to plug away, do his best, and maybe Chelsea likes him. They'll play him, get some matches, maybe score the odd goal here and there. That's all he can really ask for.
I think there's every chance that he's going to get a fair crack of the whip at Chelsea, because Chelsea's team is getting on a bit. Like, you think of a lot of these players, like your Pedro, a lot of your attacking players are Willian, Pedro are really, really getting on. I think that Pulisic,
David Lewis,
big front man, David Lewis, big Brazilian striker in that fine tradition of the Brazilian number 9. I think Ross Barkley, totally off topic, but I think Ross Barkley's going to get a much better crack of the whip at Chelsea this year as well. And he could, you know what, he's got, we're saying about Morrison having all the potential in the world. Ross Barkley's got all the potential. Yeah. He could step up and be a battling number 10, number 8 for Chelsea. And
pinged a lovely free kick in against Reading the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, he was intrinsic in the success of Everton, but I think he's past his prime, and he's so little he can add to the Chelsea team.
He is getting on a bit, isn't he, Barkley? Just remind us again, Michael, how old Ross Barkley is.
28, mate.
Yeah, he's 28. Yeah.
He must be quite old. He's got those banks that have been around forever.
Exactly. He's been too busy concentrating on money than football. Yeah.
Different Barkley.
Dylan. Any
I've actually got one in my starting 11. I've gone for Joelinton, who Newcastle have signed. 40 million. 6.5 million, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, 40 million. And he is just, if you watch a couple of his clips on YouTube, he's so well suited to the Premier League. Just a bit of a battering ram, quick, good finishing, good in the air. So I think at Newcastle as well, up top on his own, I think he's going to get 15 plus a season. I'm going to start with him. Yeah, I'm going to start with him. First game is Arsenal at home, and I think he's going to score on debut.
Whoa!
So I've gone him. There's a couple of brilliant signings have been made, just not fantasy. So Man City signed Rodri from Atletico Madrid, who's basically a younger Sergio Busquets. Every time I've seen him, he is brilliant, and he will again win City the league, I think, this season. Similar defensive midfielder, Tanguy and Ndombele has signed to Tottenham. 62 million as well. Quality player, just not fantasy. But the signing hasn't been made yet, but I think would be in most people's squad is Dybala for Man United. I think it's going to happen.
Do you reckon?
I don't know if I can say this, but I got an email today saying he's on his way to the UK.
Wow.
Yeah, Sky Sports are reporting that his agent's in London today. I mean, just off topic, aside from the actual Premier League, obviously being a United player, I mean, potentially lose Lukaku and get Dybala is no mean fucking swap.
Thank you very much.
What a result!
But the one thing I will say, and I actually messaged Gossi about this. Gossi, if you're listening, I hope you're enjoying the show, listening to it and not being on it. The one thing I would say is, by all accounts, and obviously we don't know everything, but by all accounts, Dybala wants to stay at Juventus and doesn't necessarily want to come to United. And my worry is, if you're getting a player that's not infused by the move, do we end up with another Sanchez who's just coming for the wrong reasons and doesn't necessarily produce the goods? That's my biggest concern. That said, I'm hoping that he'll see sense and go, I could go to United and be the main man, and whereas at the moment at Juventus I'm second, third pick. I'm not necessarily as big a part as I would have liked. So,
well, exactly. And they're transitioning Ronaldo into the striker role now. And I mean, Dybala's not going to get a chance to see when Ronaldo's there. So that's going to be a great signing.
I think.
Name me an Argentinian who's been successful at United.
Heinze.
Other than Gabby Heinzer.
Oh,
Name
wasn't
him.
that one?
Nani.
Nani, another great Argentinian player. Yeah. Go on, name some more, Michael.
We struggle. Di Maria in that game against Leicester.
Di Maria, Veron.
The war chip, yeah. Di Maria,
Veron.
Veron. Oh, what a player Veron was.
Tevez. Tevez was good for a bit, yeah.
He just...
Juan Mata.
Yeah, another great Argentinian. Name some more, Michael.
Argentinian.
Yeah.
No, David Blind is from Ajax.
Dwight York.
No.
Andrew Cole.
No.
Yeah.
Dion Dublin.
Yeah. Oh!
Ashley Cole.
The best backup goalkeeper in the world.
Dion Dublin.
Sergio Romero.
Oh, actually, yeah, Sergio's pretty decent, isn't he?
Yeah. He's done all right for a guy who couldn't even fucking get in the Sampdoria team.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Dybala will be. I wouldn't say an easy pick because it depends on what they put him in, but it certainly would be one worth looking at.
What are they talking about money wise for him?
I think he'd be about 11 million.
On what? Are you talking in real life, Stuart? Or?
No, in real life rather than FPL. Yeah.
Well, this is the crazy thing. Juventus, when they were talking about if anyone wanted to buy him, were saying we won't sell him for any less than 100 million.
Yeah.
And we're saying we won't sell Lukaku for anything less than the 75 million that we paid for him. And yet the rumours are that we're getting Dybala plus cash. So we're actually
Jesus Christ!
I even saw a rumour saying Dybala, Mandzukic, and 10 million. So 2 players plus 10 million for Lukaku. And it's like,
I think the thing with that deal is it all lies on if Harry Maguire happens or not. Because Leicester have come out today and said we're not selling him for less than £90 million.
Yeah,
I think it's just beyond mental. But
we've also. I mean, this has gone massively off tangent of the actual Premier League fantasy side of it. But you've got the domino effect with that because Brighton have just signed a £20 million defender, which means that they're more likely to let Lewis Dunk go to Leicester, which means that if Leicester get Lewis Dunk for 40 million, they're going to play him, which means Maguire's got less chance, or they're preparing for a life after Maguire. Yeah. I think we'll get Maguire. I hope it's not for 90 million because that would be an absolute fucking travesty. But I do quite like him as a defender. I've got no issues with us signing him, but to make him the world's most expensive defender would be fucking ridiculous. But I do think we will end up getting him. The Dybala one I don't want to think about at the moment because I just can't imagine that happening. I'd rather we would concentrate on getting fucking Bruno Fernandes. Because a quality midfielder we need to either replace or support Pogba and actually have a bit more quality in that midfield apart from Scott McTominay, who's who's now on the front cover of Pro Evolution Soccer.
Pro Evo.
Yeah, unreal. Anyway, let's get back to the fantasy. The only other 2 players that I've got, 3 players that I've got that I don't know how good they're going to be for fantasy or not, but certainly going to be tremendous players in the league, is the Real lad that's gone to Arsenal. Is it Ceballos?
On loan, yeah.
Yeah, I think by all accounts he's a tidy player, so it depends on what he brings to the league. Another Spanish midfielder is Fornals at West Ham. Yeah. I think he's going to be a silky little fucker, and I think he's going to stand out, but it's just he doesn't have much in the way of goals and assists, so it's whether he can produce that. And sticking at West Ham is Sebastian Haller up top.
45 million quid.
Yeah.
I don't know what to follow him, but it seems a lot for the kind of player he is.
By all accounts, he's like you said about Joelinton, he is suited to the Premier League. He's big, he's languid, he's strong. He's going to be bringing in.
He did bang them in last season as well.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like Andy Carroll.
41.
It does sound like Andy Carroll, but foreign. So.
Another brilliant signing, again, not for fantasy football, is Bournemouth signed Philip Billing from Huddersfield, who is a quality centre midfielder, but won't get a look in fantasy.
No, he's a. What'd you get? 2 points a game, so he's a 60-point game, 60-point season type of fella. All right, lovely. Any other bargains that you've spotted?
Yes, one player who, when I seen him, I got very excited. Jose Perez. He's got the left £1 million.
So cheap, quality, cheap.
And he's a midfielder on fantasy football.
Yeah. He's next to my Hernandez.
He's in, and he won't be leaving for a long time.
Yeah,
because 6.5
cool.
for a midfielder who scores loads of goals. Thank you very much.
Bargain.
Yeah,
bargain.
It's quite weird that Leicester have got a team quite filled now with players where you can just cherry pick them. So Vardy is a bit of a no-brainer up front. He's their main man up front. He's apart from that season after they won the league, where we all expected them to have a bit of a hangover, that he's just proven at this level. You've got, like you say, Perez. Assuming he hits any form close to what he did for Newcastle, then he's good. You've got Maddison, who's a quality midfielder. You've got Tielemans, who had a great 6 months and could carry that on. Maguire, whether he stays or whether he goes, will be a decent pick at $5.5 million. Schmeichel in goal. They've literally got now. They've got
there
a
is a
decent
reason
squad.
that I've put £10 on Leicester to win the Premiership,
and that's because you had £10 that you didn't want anymore.
Sorry, mate. You're the one who just spent 5 minutes talking about how good they are.
Yeah, but not to win the fucking Premier League.
Don't prick me off.
Come on. We're not having 2015 all over again, or whatever years.
All right. Well, we'll be laughing this time in 8 months, won't we?
I do think they might sneak into the Europa League spot. So
yeah,
I think them and Wolves. I think they'll make up the top 8. So
speaking of Wolves and bargains, Jimenez at $7.5 million is absolutely crazy. I mean, he was the 3rd or 4th best striker last year, and it's idiotic that he's not 9 or more.
Quality.
He's talismanic. The only thing I will say is they've gone and spent 20 odd million on another striker today. So it's whether they're thinking of using him in the Europa League.
Patrick Sarone, is it something like that?
Yeah. Coutron. Yeah.
And they've got Jota as well up front. So the goals are quite spread. For him and 7.5. Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. In terms of big name players, though, I think there's 2. Well, one's probably more risky than the other, and I can see why they've maybe not the prices. But Pogba at $8.5 million, assuming he stays, I think across the season, it's. You look at him, or you look at Ryan Fraser at $7.5 million.
He's in my team.
Yeah, who? Ryan Fraser.
Yeah. Just Ryan Fraser, brilliant fantasy player.
But yeah, I like Pogba at 8.5, and I tell you what, one that's gone completely under the radar because he was mainly injured a lot last season. De Bruyne at $9.5 million could be an absolute steal this season because he's a class. Don't be doing that to me.
No, he's such a good footballer, but he's made of plasticine, isn't he? It's just the most. It's so frustrating. You just see him running around with his little red face after 2 minutes, and you know that something in his legs is going to ping, and it's so frustrating because he's so good. Kevin De Bruyne,
he is so good.
Oh.
Yeah,
I think he's fantastic at international level for Belgium, but we've never seen his capability last season in Manchester City due to his plasticinic nature.
Yeah, yeah,
he's fragile.
Absolutely true. Stuart, have you got any bargains?
No. Yeah, Perez. I think Perez is an absolute steal. You're right. What, $6 million? Was he 6.5? Absolutely brilliant. I do think Pogba's cheap this season, but
I think they're banking on him maybe moving last minute. 8.5.
8.5.
I've got Sigurdsson for $8 million, and I think he's just a lot more consistent, a lot more reliable. Will get you goals and assists.
This is the problem with Pogba, isn't it? Complete lack of consistency.
Yeah,
but you say that I would say the same about Sigurdsson. Like he's a quality footballer, and he did have a tremendous second half of last season.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I trust him constantly.
I worry about Sigurdsson because his eyes are so close together. I'm not sure he can always see the pass as well as a player with a normally laid out face could.
I'm very surprised we're sort of forgetting one big name.
Who's that?
It was this big because it's hyphenated. Calvert-Lewin.
He's rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Go on, why is he? Tell us.
Right. Well, that's
thing.
got me a bit concerned. All right, can we pivot over to reviewing my team then? Right,
Yeah.
I'll just go through them. So I'm going to write
Roast my
down
FPL
Calvert-Lewin.
squad.
Need to remove him.
What a great show that is.
Write down dash remove. So Calvert-Lewin remove.
Garbage.
Jimenez we like. King.
Yeah, he's in mine.
Ledley.
Yeah, I don't get that.
No, King's a decent budget striker.
Well, Joshua King.
Joshua King.
Yeah.
Hernandez we like. Hooray we like. Zaha.
Well, Zaha.
Yeah.
For Everton.
Knowing me, fantasy football. Knowing you, Crystal Palace. Zaha. Salah we like.
I think Salah is too much money. I just think about the other. I think you could improve a couple of other players in your squad and not have Salah and get the same back.
I would say as well, it's worth noting that Salah and Mane, who we didn't even touch on Mane, who had a tremendous season last year. Salah and Mane have both had African nations due to this summer, and that's the first summer that it's had the African nations have been played in the summer rather than the winter. So those guys have come off huge seasons last year, both of which got to the Champions League final and won. They've then gone to the African nations and played in like 90 degrees centigrade heat, and then they're being asked to come back to this season. So I although I've got Mane in my team at the moment, I'm toying with taking him out just because I'm slightly concerned that their form post that will not be as good as it certainly won't start as well.
Yeah.
Laporta.
Emerick Laporte,
Yeah.
Digny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Edison. And then on my bench, Ryan over at Ryan
Whiten.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper.
Yeah, goalkeeper.
I mean, he's on your bench and he's all right.
Yeah. Wan-Bissaka.
Right.
Yeah.
Great signing for United.
I find it odd that you've spent the money on Wan-Bissaka. I mean, last year Wan-Bissaka was the bargain player. I find it odd that who's United's opening game against?
Chelsea at home.
Oh, right, fair play. Yeah.
Correct. David Lewis.
Yeah. Terrible footballer.
Very expensive bench.
Yeah.
Also, David Lewis could be cut.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we want to improve. We don't want to improve someone else's team that much, do we? I mean, remember we're all in competition here, lads.
Grealish we like as well. Okay, so there's
no, Grealish is terrible. Get rid of Grealish and keep David Lewis.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll write that down.
Yeah.
Get two David Lewises.
Sell. Sorry, who did you have up front?
So I've got Jimenez, Calvert-Lewin, and King.
Right. Oh,
King.
Yeah. I mean, keep that. Who did you have in net? Edison, you had in net.
Yeah.
Get rid of him and get Sheffield United's goalie, and just save some money. Simon Eastwood, is it?
I don't know. It might be Freddie Eastwood. Well, that might be. No, that's Newcastle, isn't it?
Jeff Eastwood, Terry Eastwood, Clint Eastwood.
Right, so hang on, you're all saying stuff at once. Edison out, Clint
Eastwood in.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Get rid of Salah.
Yeah.
And put in Danny Drinkwater.
Is he still over at Leicester?
Yeah. No, Chelsea now. It's very important to keep your team hydrated, Michael.
That is actually really smart.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, thanks, but I didn't even know about any of this stuff.
Oh, good times.
Amazing. Right. Moving on from bargains, what other tactics do you deploy? Let's step away from players themselves. What's your go-to formation?
3-4-3. Boom.
3-4-3.
3-4-3.
I've written 3-5-2, but completely forgotten that 3-4-3 exists. So yeah, 3-4-3. I don't know why I was loading up on my midfield and sacrificing a striker. But...
Michael, you might want to think about a 5-4-1, Michael. A 5-4-1. With Josh King up front.
5.
Keep Calvert-Lewin up front. Yeah.
You need a big man.
Yeah.
541 players, question mark. Is 541 players, question mark, check FAQs, is that possible? I don't remember reading about that. Check FAQs. Okay. Thought there was a player cap, but okay.
Another thing I do is I load up on one or two like £4.5 million players that are just not really going to play. Might be worthwhile something, but then I can distribute that cash across the other players.
Yeah.
I've done that life before, and I've not seen success from it. That's why I've very much split. I don't have many huge names this time around. I've got just a very good overall, apart from Calvert-Lewin and.
Goalkeeper never more than 5 million. I'll never spend more than 5 million on a goalkeeper. More often than not, 4.5 is my limit, because I just think there's value to be had. You look at the top goal score, the top point scorer goalkeeper last year was 174 points, which is about nearly 100 points off the top scoring midfielder. Yeah. So there's such little differential between the top and a semi-decent goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And the thing I don't get with goalkeepers is you get 1 point per 3 saves. But if you've got Edison in there, I mean, he's not going to make many saves, is he? That's why Neil Etheridge last year was so good for fantasy. Because saved a couple of penalties, so many saves to make. So I don't see the point. I've gone Schmeichel, kind of mid-range.
The funniest scoring thing for goalkeepers is that they get the same amount of points for scoring a goal as a defender does.
Yeah.
I think a defender gets 5 points, and so does a goalkeeper if they score. And it's like, ridiculous. I mean, you get one maybe goalkeeper scoring a season at most, and you're telling me that that's worth the same as fucking Harry Maguire and his big nonce hitting it. What else was I going to say? What other tactics did I have? Oh, I try never to have two of the same at the back. So for example,
don't tell me that.
Huh?
I've gone Alexander-Arnold and Robertson.
Yeah, and that's worthwhile because they're, based solely on last season, the assists that they can get. But I try to avoid having two. I don't know why. I've done it. It's not always worked, but
especially if you've got three at the back. Yeah, that makes sense.
It just means that if they both can, if the team concedes, you've sort of lost that clean sheet bonus for two players automatically rather than just the one. But that said, I do have a Sheffield United goalkeeper and a Sheffield United defender, although the defender's unlikely to be in my team very often. What about you, Michael? What other tactics do you deploy? You obviously said that you're mixing it up and trying to spread the cost a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's useful to know a little bit more about football. I think that's a real advantage. In the past, I have done things like look at check what the differential is between what's the biggest gap? What's the biggest gap between teams, and then fill my team according to that. Tried doing it towards the end of last year, and you might see on the vlog channel. So I think I called it something like, "Can you mathematically win Fantasy Premier League?" And it didn't work at all. That tactic absolutely failed. So I don't think you can rely on that. I think form is important. I think feel is important, and as Stuart said, I think you need to keep the heme hydrated.
The heme hydrated. Well done. Dylan, what about you? Got any other sort of niche tactics that you deploy?
If there's no midweek games, I will always make my changes on the Monday when it's sort of fresh in the memory, and then I will review them changes on the Friday. Bit sad, I know, but injuries can be picked up obviously midweek, so I always change my, if there's any transfers on the Monday, and then Friday review them changes.
So you make transfers on a Monday?
Yeah, if there's no midweek game on Monday Night Football, I'll make my changes.
No, making changes, that's fine, but making transfers on a Monday, that's insane. That's psychopathic.
Yeah, anything could happen. Fair play. No, it's
worked for me in the past. So
Yeah, absolutely.
we'll see what happens this season.
Yeah. What about the chips? Now we're bringing Michael in. The wild card. When do you tend to use your wild card? Is it when there's shit fixtures, or is it if you just have literally just shit players in your team and you just need to get rid of half a dozen of them in one fell swoop?
I didn't use my wild card last season.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't use my free hit. Just because this team I've got here is going to be kind of my core team for the season. As long as there's no kind of like, as long as there's no bad changes. But this is what I think is going to do well this season, so I don't see the point making huge changes. So literally 2 transfers a week, in and out. Yeah, I don't. Wild card doesn't interest me. The only one is triple captain. That excites me.
The confidence of youth that he's picked the team he's picked today is gonna be the best bunch of players across the season.
Wow.
There was a weird.
I'd be very disappointed if I'm not top 10 this year. I didn't really try last year. And a new thing
you made too many transfers last year, yeah.
There was a weird week last year where there was a funny week where only about 7 or 8 teams played.
Seven teams played one week.
Yeah, 7 teams played. Yeah, no, there was a funny week where barely any teams played, and the free hit was a bit of a saviour. But I think this is partly where I balls it up. I don't think I ever make the best tactical use of my bonuses. Like triple captain has never ever smashed it for me. Like you go, Aguero scored 35 points this week. If only I'd triple captained him. You know,
it did for me this season. It was the first time it's ever worked for me, and I put it on Sterling, who scored a hat trick in one of the games.
Yeah,
and it's the only time it's ever worked for me. He obviously got man of the match. I think he got an assist as well in there as well. That's the only time. Normally though, I'll play it. It'll be Lukaku at home to Norwich, and you'll think, oh, he's going to at least get a goal here, and then you just find out
Brighton.
he gets taken off in the 59th minute. Yeah, I don't like the free hit that much. It's not that good. I think I tweeted a suggestion to the Fantasy Premier League account, suggesting a slight adaptation to it, calling it something like the Billionaires chip, and where you could literally just make any changes you want without worrying about the cost of your team. So you could, if still sticking to the 3 players from each Premier League team, but you could literally put £150 million worth of talent in your team.
For 1 week only.
For 1 week only, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Then they never responded, so I don't think they liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah, I think you messaged me or responded to it. Yeah.
This is Timmy. Say hi, Timmy. Hi. Timmy doesn't know what podcast to listen to because people don't leave a review. Isn't that right?
That's right.
And isn't it also true you're an orphan?
Absolutely.
There you have it. Conclusive evidence that orphans, and definitely not me using a higher pitched voice, have a harder life because you don't leave a podcast review. Reviews today. Save an orphan.
Why don't we like Calvert-Lewin? Where did he used to play?
Sheffield United, then Everton.
Did he play at Sheffield United?
Yeah, he started at Sheffield United. Yeah, he's from Sheffield. He's a Yorkshire lad. I should like him, but he's crap.
He had a little purple patch when he first came on the scene at Everton, and he's just nothing. He's just a bit like
dead tall, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just a big lad. Makes himself a little bit awkward, but he's never.
Does anyone know why I added him in?
Yeah, because you like him, mate. It's your team. You do what you want.
Did I see him somewhere? I'm trying to think why I added him in.
I think he's a Food Review UK fan. I think he just...
That must be it.
Yeah, I think he tweeted us once. I think he actually scored a goal and he lifted up his shirt and he had a FRUK shirt underneath it. And I think you said, right, it's time to have him in my team. You don't remember that?
So he's shit, but he's only a few points off Lukaku.
Yeah, but Lukaku's also shit.
Yeah.
Opening weekend fixtures. Any surprises there, or do you think it will go with? I'm watching Dylan. Dylan's got page after page printed off. He's done some proper. You can tell he works in journalism. Look at that.
Wow,
that's what you need.
Impressive.
No, I mean Man United Chelsea. Why on earth is that in the first weekend of fixtures?
Yeah,
ridiculous. But the rest of the fixtures are absolutely dreadful for that weekend.
Yeah, there's a couple of
Liverpool home to Norwich on a Friday. No background. Spurs got Villa. Newcastle Arsenal maybe. Bit of a shock there. Newcastle at home. But no, nothing exciting in that first weekend.
Yeah, it's I agree. I could see Newcastle nicking something. There's been such sort of talk about how shit the club's done over the summer and everything, but I don't know. I could just see them just nicking like a draw off of them.
I think it's a Super Sunday game as well. Something always happens on that Super Sunday. So
Leicester Wolves could go either way. Leicester have done impressively over the summer on their transfers, but Wolves have got a decent side that could go either way. Spurs should beat Villa. Watford, Brighton. Be interesting to see what Brighton do this season, because they've sort of, I wouldn't say they've underperformed, but with the new manager who's a bit more attack minded, it's just interesting to see if they can improve on what they've done the last couple of years.
I've got Brighton going down in my predictions.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
They've gone away with it massively last season. Cardiff only finished 2 points off them. I don't think they got a chance this year.
But they had a manager who's, I think, the biggest fraud in football, which is Chris Hughton. I don't understand why people rave about Chris Hughton, because he might be. Oh, he's such a nice guy, isn't he? Yeah, he might be a lovely guy. Doesn't make him a good manager. Every team he's managed in the Premier League has been shit up front, and I don't know how they stayed up the first year. They got lucky when they stayed up the first year because of Pascal Gross. And everyone found it out last year because Brighton couldn't score for shit. And he's great at organising his teams, but he ain't got much else in his locker. So he's the biggest fraud in Premier League history. But at the same time, like I say, the new guy, Graham Potter, see what he does at the Premier League level.
Right, obviously he was Swansea manager, so obviously see a lot of Swansea with the job, and he is really well regarded, set Swansea up well, and the main thing he does is bring youngsters through. So I don't know if Brighton have got a good academy set up, but you'll see a lot of new faces. I think.
Palace, Everton. See what Palace are like this year, especially if they lose Zaha. Burnley, Southampton's got mid-table written all over it. Bournemouth, Sheffield United. Yeah, I mean, looking at the new boys that have come up, Sheffield United away to Bournemouth. You'd expect Bournemouth to win that, but wouldn't necessarily. You never know with Bournemouth. They're sort of a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde at times. Norwich at Liverpool. I mean, fuck me, they couldn't have got a worse. They absolutely hate playing Liverpool.
Good luck, lad.
And then Villa at Spurs. Again, you'd expect Spurs to take that.
Yeah.
There's nothing that stands out.
Who's Newcastle's good new one?
Joe Illington.
That's it.
Striker. Yeah. They spent 40 million on him.
He's not as good as Calvert-Lewin, though, Michael.
No.
I'm wondering, has Michael got Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Ruben Loftus-Cheek mixed up? Double-barrel surnames, young English players, because Loftus-Cheek's a footballer. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's a donkey.
I wonder if you can make.
Can you imagine?
I wonder if there's enough players in there to make a fully hyphenated team. Wan-Bissaka, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Loftus-Cheek, Calvert-Lewin, Walker-Peters.
Yeah.
We're stuck. This will be great. This will be a great game.
I can't think of a keeper.
Who's the Wolves midfielder? Morgan White.
Yeah.
Smith Rowe. Arsenal.
You're pulling some amazing faces here trying to think, Nathan.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka,
Yeah.
Who's that?
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, is he in your team?
Yeah.
There must be more.
There's not a goalkeeper with a double-barreled name.
There's not one?
No.
Oh, that's ruined everything.
No. Dylan Mohammad-Smart?
Yeah.
centre midfield.
Get him in your team, Michael.
How much would you be worth on Fantasy Premier League?
I 7.5 million. I'd see myself around it.
Can we have that little bit as the outro, please, Stuart? Just literally the question and the answer. No, nothing else.
Yeah.
Lovely. Right. That's enough about the actual Premier League, the fantasy side of life. Michael, the reduced social media section, please.
Psychman, it's time for questions that you posted on all the platforms that you utilize to provoke our replies. Although increasingly I'll posting the forms of statements that require no response, as opposed to the questions we requested in our initial post on the aforementioned Psychman.
Yes, please. I'd be very, very happy to provide that information to you. So each time we record, we post the thumbnail on social media and ask for your questions and comments. Over on Facebook, starting off this time, we've got Sean Millard, and he's got a question for us. He's asked, is every hole a goal?
Great.
Guys, what do you think? Is every hole a goal? Or is that some sort of footballing?
If you'd asked me when I was 16, then I would have said yes.
Yeah.
As a 40-year-old man, still yes.
Good.
Anyone else?
Take that. I'll take Nathan's answer.
Good. If we pivot across to Instagram, then in that case,
Oh dear.
first comment here is from a guy called Bonglungs.
Bongers.
He says, "Football, gang, gang, gang."
Of course.
Next comment here is from Bonglungs.
Bongers.
Lungers.
Big up Tottenham, big up Man U, big up all the gang. Love tweeting at Natey when we win.
Do you, Dylan? Do you follow Bonglungs on Twitter out of interest?
I do know.
No,
I think you should.
Yeah. Follow
Can you
Bong.
please- Yeah, I mean, you absolutely have to. Everyone listening to this podcast should definitely follow Bonglungs on Twitter, because he is I don't think he sleeps. He's a constant source of entertainment.
I must have mentioned this before, but my favourite thing about Bongers is that, like, he'll speak directly to one of us, but he won't at us. So he'll ask me a question on Twitter, but he won't at me. But somehow the Twitter algorithms always show me Bongers' tweets that are directed at me.
Yeah.
Next comment we've got here is from Bonglungs.
Kingy.
Bonglungs.
If Maddie wants to play footy, I got 2 balls for her. Maddie Madworld has replied to that. I love football. And then she's replied again, and balls.
Hey!
The FRUK wedding is moving along nicely.
Yeah, it's swimming along, isn't it? And then Bonglongs has replied, come Isle of Wight and we will play some games, and I don't mean football.
Oh.
I think he's being lewd.
Yeah.
Monopoly.
Then we've got a comment from David Goss.
Gossy.
In-house, some academy talent there. Why don't you have the FRUK presenter's best fantasy football manager on the pod? Is a question.
How do
Reece
you judge best? What do we judge it on, trophies or?
Yeah, I mean, it surely must be on trophies. I mean, admittedly, if the trophy was won 20 years ago, then one might discount it. But if it was won, I don't know, the season before last, one might say that's fairly recent enough to suggest that they are a pretty decent competitor.
Correct.
Reece Prue has said, isn't Nate Peterson on this pod?
Hey,
Kidding.
I mean, so
Thank you, Reece.
Exactly.
I'll give you a $5 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then this is the last comment, actually. This one's from Leon Tricker.
Oh, here we go.
So he says, I'm about the same age as Stu, early to mid 40s. And when I was a kid, the nearest thing we had to fantasy football was the football pools, the aim of which was to correctly guess 8 draws. Every week, the pools man would come around our house and collect our pool slip and the 50p fee. At the time, my dad worked away a lot as the area manager for a budget frozen food chain, and the pools man, or Uncle Bill as Mum encouraged me to call him, always seemed to call round when my dad was on a work trip. Our family stopped doing the football pools, and Uncle Bill stopped visiting after my younger brother William was born. Anyway, the top prize. Anyway, the top prize for the pools was a couple of $100,000. What's the best prize you've won playing fantasy football? Or what was the most satisfying victory, e.g. getting one over on someone in a work league and declaring that was the real quiz? No, great comment there.
I think the most satisfying thing that I've ever won is being able to say that I'm the FRUK presenter's best fantasy competitor and not David Goss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed lording it over everybody else for the first 6 months of last year's Fantasy Football League before my team just plummeted. But prior to that, I very much enjoyed being better than David Goss.
I'm just very happy to be at the bottom.
What about you, Dylan? Have you won any that you won any cash off of?
Yeah, I won the Telegraph and a World Cup one. We all had to chuck like a £5 in.
Nice.
And I won that one. So for £100 there.
Oh, lovely.
It's a nice one, yeah. But not as good a setup as the FPL.
No, it's much better. But back in the old days, when pre sort of internet and these things being free, I used to run one at my first workplace, and sort of it was just literally on a spreadsheet, and I would literally administer the whole thing and email around people and ask them for their transfers and all this palaver. Wow. Anyway, one year I won it, and I was massively pleased because at Christmas I was bottom of the league, and so I was like, "Fuck me! I've literally turned it around and managed to win this from the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here," as Drake said. And then the person who came second asked me to recheck my scores, and it turned out that with when I transferred in Sami Hyypiä at Liverpool at the January transfer window, rather than deducting his points up to that he'd already scored up to that point, I added those points. So I think I got an extra 200 points on top of what I should have had, and I went from first down to about 5th, and I was quite disappointed because I spent the money by then. So.
Wow! You actually spent the money.
No, that was a joke, Michael. Yeah, that's my favourite story that I'd only just remembered now. Thank you for the painful memories, Leon Tricker. And that's it, Michael?
That's all we got.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining in there on social media. Please, continue to do so. As Leon Tricker absolutely smashing it again with his story. I want to hear more about William Tricker, Willie Tricker, little baby brother Willie Tricker, the Pools. No, not the Pools man's son. Anyway, right, let's move on. Stuart, do you want to play a game?
I'd love to play a game, Nathan.
It's time to play a game. Let's play a game. It's called Sweeter or Savourier. We pull the name of a food stuff out of a hat. You tell us what you think about that. Will the next food stuff be sweeter or savory? Will it be sugary or covered in salt? There's just no way to know. But you must predict. Will the next food stuff be sweeter or savory?
Guys, so as you know from being two of the hosts and Dylan being a listener, we normally play Sweeter or Savourier, but can't really do that with football. So instead, we've got a game of Shearer or Nemaria. I don't know. It's a working title. We'll come up with something better. Saviolia. I don't know.
Shearer or Abel Xavier.
Yeah, but the reason I went for Neymar, there is a reason. But I don't care. Just one of them. Pick one of them. What I've done is I have got in the Man v Fat Trophy, Cup winners trophy, which I did first season. Won the cup, didn't I? Bloody slough.
Did each player get a cup?
No, I took this one. But I was top scorer. Oh, did I say also I was the top scorer that season as well?
Wow.
Anyway, in here, I've got a bunch of names. These are all gentlemen in the Professional Men's Football Association profession who have broken the world transfer record.
Correct.
Very much like Sweet or Savourier, I'm going to pick a name out of here at random, and I'm going to ask you to tell me whether the next one is Shearer or Neymaria. Essentially, whether they are cheaper or more expensive. As we know, when we've got a group of people, you're all playing against each other at the same time. So if you get it wrong, you're out, but everyone else carries on.
Yeah.
Okay?
Correct.
So we are starting with Gianluca Vialli, who moved from Sampdoria to Juventus in 1992 for 12 million.
He did, yeah.
I will let you know that the cheapest player in here is £100. The most expensive player in here is 198 million.
Correct.
So, who wants to go with Shearer, which is cheaper, or Neymaria, which is more expensive?
Neymaria.
Neymar.
Shearer. Yeah.
Oh, so at least one of you's out. Lovely way to play the game, Michael. We have got second. It is, I don't know if you can see that, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Man United to Real, 80 million.
See you later, MJ.
Say
You're not in it anymore, mate. Shearer.
What's that, sir?
You're not in it. You're not in.
You can't be serious.
Dylan, Shearer.
So wait, so I don't get to play Neymar?
No. Hey.
Dylan.
Well, there's a lot of 100 millions up there, so.
But it's only breaking the record, so it's not just the most expensive players all the time. So if, for example, Coutinho wouldn't be in there because he didn't break the transfer record.
Oh, I see. Shearer.
Shearer. Okay, so cheaper than Ronaldo, we've got Ruud Gullit, who moved from PSV to Milan in 1987 for 6 million.
Yeah.
Are we going Shearer or Neymaria?
Neymaria.
Trouble is, his name's not Neymar. Well, his name Neymar. Neymaria. Neymar. Yeah, I don't know.
Neymar, more iconic duo.
Correct. So you went with Neymaria. We have Jean-Pierre Papin, who moved in 1992 for 10 million from Marseille to Milan.
Yeah.
Milan loved breaking a record back in the day.
Yeah.
Shearer or Neymaria?
Neymaria.
Do you know what? Let's go Shearer.
Oh, £100.
I'll tell you what, that little last change of events. Diego Maradona. Boca Juniors to Barcelona, 1982 for £3 million. So Dylan is out. Dylan, MJ went out with 2. You went out with 4.
And that's the real quiz. So
that's the real quiz. Let's see how far you can take it, Stuart.
Neymaria.
Oh.
Neymaria, so more expensive than Diego Maradona in 1982. Boca versus Barcelona. We have Hernan Crespo, Parma to Lazio.
25.
For 35.5 million in 2000. 2000 was a fascinating year. There was actually 3 times the transfer record was broken in one summer.
That's right.
Shearer or Neymaria?
Let's go Neymaria again.
Neymaria again. Oh, and it comes crashing to a halt. It's Ronaldo, PSV to Barcelona, 13.2 million in 1996. So you go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well done.
Did PSV change their name or did they fold?
No, PSV Eindhoven, as far as I know, always change their name. Always change their name. Brilliant. Always stay the same.
Every season,
what
instead of new shirts.
Yeah.
PSV now.
Wait,
Still PSV.
You're thinking of
PSV?
You're thinking of PSG.
No, who's PSV? Because I remember hearing about them, but you just don't hear about them these days.
PSV Eindhoven, I mean, if you follow football, you kind of hear about them.
Yeah, particularly if you follow the Eredivisie, but
Yeah, I mean,
Where are they?
they're the second best team in Holland, I would imagine.
Oh, Holland. Yeah, there you go.
Brilliant. Well, hopefully those 2 games I've come up with tonight wash away the memories of my last awful attempt.
I still have fond memories about that one.
Well done, Stuart.
Thank you.
Well done, Dylan. Well done, Michael. I think
Thank you. I stayed in it.
you did stay in it for one question. Have you guys
I was a safety net that made sure people were in it.
I mean, kind of. Yeah, I guess you're the real hero.
Yeah, exactly. What if the 3 million Maradona came out first round?
Exactly. We'll never know. We'll never know. Can I move on now?
If you want, mate. Your show, innit?
Well, it's our show. It's our show.
Well, don't let me hold you back.
I won't. Anybody got
Do
anything
what
else?
you want.
Oh, here we go.
Does anybody have anything else, or shall I move on to our little outro? No, good. I mean, when I ask a question, if I get complete silence, that's always a good. Always enjoy that.
I love it. I love it.
Will there be a review of the preview? Will there be a review of the season?
Oh.
A review, what, a podcast of the season at the end.
Oh, wow.
Well, a fantasy football review. I mean, it's not a much selling point, I suppose, is it?
Yeah.
You done shit. Michael done superb.
Michael done. I mean, I don't know what weird reality this is that Michael done superb, but yeah, we might do a little one. At least maybe do a little section, if not a full show. I did have grand designs last year of doing like monthly updates as videos or something, but then I just thought, I mean, how interesting can I make that of me just sat there going, Steve's top, Barry in second, New Foods third. Yeah, so I don't know how interesting. I do try I might try and post on Instagram or Twitter or something like that a bit more often of the standings, but to be honest, if you're in it, you'll probably know. It's worth noting actually, we've already broken last year's record for entrants.
Have we?
We're currently at 88.
Wow.
I think last year we had 17. We've still got
Jesus Christ, who are all these people?
That's
still
mad.
got nearly 2 weeks. Yeah.
Like,
And bearing in mind people like Rich and Sam dropped out, so we're obviously getting newer newers, but yeah.
wow.
Cool. Anyway,
Hang on, is Kelly's dad in it?
yeah, I didn't see him in there.
Yeah, Paul Clitheroe.
Oh, was he? I obviously missed his name.
Kelly's dad. Amazing.
Paul Hero.
Paul Clitheroe. Yeah.
Oh,
That's what she announced herself as on the podcast. I think you're fine to.
well.
It's public knowledge.
Hang on.
Go back to baking episode. Insert number here.
Oh,
I remember.
just one little thing. Out of all the current people who have entered our league, who's got the best team name?
Oh, that's a good point. Actually, let's do our four. Let's do our four first.
Dylan's is offensive. So
what's Dylan's?
Demo's hose. It's a bit misogynistic, if anything.
Maybe he likes gardening.
Yeah.
Do you like gardening, Dylan?
I hate it. I haven't got a garden. No, yeah, my nickname's Demo, so I tried coming up with something clever, and that's the best I got. Oh, it's got FC on the end as well. Demo's Hose FC.
Oh, okay. That's good then.
I can't actually see you or MJ on here.
Are you on the app?
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason the app seems to limit it to 50 teams, but if you go on the website, it's got more. Yeah, I don't know why. There's three team names I noticed today that have changed names, so I think they are literally offensive, and they've been told that they need to change their name.
Wow.
What's yours, Stuart?
Can't remember. Where would I find that information?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. This is good. I think people want to know this.
If I go on a league that's got less people in it, I'm called Warhammer.
What's that for?
Warhammer.
Right.
Warhammer.
Warmer.
Warhammer.
And remember, if you're at home and you want to give to Patreon, then this is some of the content that you're helping to provide. So please help us. Please help us regularly. MJ,
you know.
What's your team name? What's yours and Vouchian's?
So my team name is Football's Team Football Club.
Which I like. And Vouchin?
Let me just double check Vouchins. Not that I'm any.
Is it called Vouchin? I thought it was called Vokian.
Oh,
no, Vouchin.
All right.
Vouchendowski's gone for
something offensive.
Oh. Wait. That's weird.
You're on the app, aren't you?
Have you kicked me out of the league? I can't find him.
No, he was there earlier. He might be, there's a second page.
Oh, bloody second page got me. Vouchendowski's is AFC AFC Palm Hug.
Of course it is. And mine is OBCTFC.
Obese. Oh, correct. Yeah, fatness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obesity.
Obesity FC. Yeah. Apart from that, I've not seen any that have blown me away in the league.
Pucky Pies is nice for a
Pucky
minority.
Pies is all right. You Joe to be kidding.
My favourite one I saw in a league last year was Rubberdinje Rapids.
Yeah, he's
me, myself, and I.
Show me the Mane. I quite like this though. Lindelof, best centre back.
Brilliant. I wanted to be called Benteke Fried Chicken, but it's too many letters. Yeah, shame.
Toy Story. I mean, I don't really know what's going on with that one.
No.
Here's one for the not for the millennials. Hello, Muto.
Great.
Back in the old Moto days.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's gone. Can't fit my willy in.
That's quite funny. And cut my arse shaving.
Oh.
Cut my arse shaving.
Oh yeah.
So there's some fun that you could be had. Yeah, if you actually, it's worth noting if you're listening to this and you haven't joined in the league. I don't know why I didn't promote this at the start of the show rather than now when you've probably lost the will to live. Right, if you at home want to join in the league, then the code that you need to join is all lowercase HJM for mother PQ4. So it's HJM PQ4 all lowercase. And you can join the 80 plus people that we've got in the league currently, and maybe, just maybe, win yourself a chance to do a review on the channel. Ooh. That was more ghost than anything. Right, I think that's probably everything we do have now. That's the end. It was a show of two halves, and with the last anecdote, sadly, he said it too well. There were a couple of schoolboy errors tonight, but the lads worked hard today, and I can't fault their work ethic. We'll be working on the comments in the training ground during the international break, but don't forget, we still have a chance in the second leg when away jokes count double.
Whee!
Stuart, what?
I think that outro, which was really, really good and really, really crafted, was absolutely wasted on the man who wasn't listening to what you were saying, but was listening to the rhythm of your words, waiting for the appropriate time when it felt like he should go way, because what he was actually doing was on his phone once again.
Wow. I can say it word for word then.
Go ahead.
Please do.
Word for
when
word.
You're away on your second leg, because when you're away, the jokes count double. So don't give me that.
No, he's right. Yeah.
Do you want to say any of it?
No, that was right. That was word. That was right. That was word for word.
Go on, you say one of them.
I'll be honest, I wasn't listening because I was too busy being annoyed with you.
Look at that! Wow. Don't throw stones in glass houses.
I didn't choose to be distracted. You chose to be distracted.
Wasn't distracted, mate. I was taking a screenshot of this moment.
He is picking his phone up again.
No, I'm just getting proof that what I was.
People say a lot about kids and everything nowadays, but Dylan's not been on his phone at all tonight.
Look, see, I was getting a screenshot from earlier.
Well done. We can all take photos of the TV, mate.
It's not TV, old man.
I'm not old. I'm in my mid. I'm in my
put
early
this
to mid
clicker
40s.
on for me, Theo.
Why are you doing like a Bristol accent for me? Oh, I can't work this computer. I'm so old. I'm not Ian Holloway. You don't know who Ian Holloway is, do you?
Thanks to Dylan for not only coming on, but actually giving us this show idea in the first place. Thank you very much, Dylan. I hope that the content has been worth it. I hope that you enjoyed your time on here.
It was an honour.
This is no fault of your own, but I will be blaming you off air. This has been a shit show of a show. And it's not your fault, but in a weird way, it kind of is. No, thank you very much for coming on. It was a very enjoyable show to put together, because as much as we love doing the food podcast, it's nice to do other things as well and talk about other areas of life. So, yeah, thank you for the idea, and also thanks for coming on. Hope you've enjoyed it.
No worries, I loved it.
Good man.
Yeah, it's nice to talk about subjects that we know quite a bit about.
Yeah. Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Where can they find you?
What,
Wales.
in the,
Well, it's your Twitter and your Twitter and things.
I'm at Dylan Mo98 on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter's probably the place to follow me. A lot of my work stuff on there. And try and get more people started at the Radio Wales.
Can we listen to Radio Wales where we are? What's the reach like?
Yeah, if you've got BBC Sounds, then you can tune in. But I don't see why you'd want to. I mean, unless you want to listen to...
We all like comedy, mate. You've heard of SAS, you've heard of MSN and BBC. Well, I'd like to thank our own... fuck me off. Just that line has been absolutely slaughtered.
Give it another go.
Yeah, let's start that one again. You've heard of SAS, MSN and BBC. Well, I'd like to thank our own dynamic team of BJ, which is Bullock and James. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you enjoyed
Thank you. Yes,
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's lovely. What does SAS stand for?
Sheer and Sutton
Special Army Soldiers.
It amused me earlier when I wrote it as well. I can't say SAS without reading that. Yeah, we don't really do this. But what did you think of our guest this week?
Who, Dylan?
Yeah.
He's alright.
We don't normally do this on air.
No, he's alright. He's a good lad.
Yeah, decent. MJ?
Yeah, good old boy, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. I just think sometimes they got to hear it. You know.
Who's in the office behind you outside in that window? Because there's lights on, like with the with the crappy window frame.
Yeah, nobody in this. Nobody over there.
That light's gone on its own then.
Taxpayers' money.
Are you the only person? If you're the only person who's currently at BBC Radio Wales, I imagine you could probably break into a studio and somehow patch this through to be live on the radio.
I could do that. I was going to do it in the radio studio. I was going to do this, but I thought, no, just in case somebody needs it for a valid reason.
Cheers to the listeners, to be honest.
To be fair.
Well done.
Yeah.
An achievement on this one.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, to be honest, I kind of feel like if you've got to this point, you deserve it. You deserve a T-shirt. If you got to this point, email us at frukgram@gmail.co.uk and I'll sort you out with a T-shirt.
Wow. Very, very quickly before we finish, just what order are us four going to finish in the FPL? What's your prediction?
Ooh, I'm gonna be gracious and say Dylan first, Stuart second, me, then MJ joint with me.
What, like same points, you and MJ?
Yeah,
I'm going to say Bullock.
Me first.
Grow up. Go on.
Just you first.
Yeah.
Just you first.
Oh, yeah, me first, and then you three.
Brilliant. I'm going to go me, Dylan, Nathan, Michael.
Right, Dylan? I mean, you've won the league already, apparently.
Yeah, I'm confident, so I'll go me. I think Stuart will do quite well. Nate are close, just behind Stewart, and then MJ down there.
Oh, MJ's getting
No, it's a sensible place. I mean, look, I was fighting to get off bottom for the last several seasons, so it's, there's precedent.
Let's not forget, though, the most important thing is that we all beat David Goss soundly.
Hopefully. Because I don't want an excuse to have him on the fucking show next year. Good night. How much would it be worth on Fantasy Premier League?
I 7.5 million.